understand it. No, I'm too good to you. I'm way too good to you. You took my life. I just don't understand it.
What's up, guys? I wanted to just kind of set this up a little bit more professionally. We have Daniel here, set it up on the tripod. And I wanted to introduce Nick to you guys. You guys have seen him on the channel before. Nick Comedina.
Nick the Trainer.
We'll tag his Instagram below so that you guys can follow him on there. But he also just started a podcast. So we'll
I have
link
a
that
podcast
below.
and I have an email list.
Look into all that stuff. So Nick has kind of just been building this online personal training and coaching business over the last, how long has it been now? For the online coaching stuff.
A year as of the Arnold.
And how long have you been a personal trainer and coach in general?
Going on 6 years now.
So he owns his own gym down in Ramona.
Yeah, San Diego area for those
San
of you
Diego.
guys who don't know.
He's just up here hanging out with us today, and we're just going around doing our normal thing, and he's going to put me through a kick-ass workout later. He just like beats the crap out of me.
Continuous ass beating.
Exactly. So we're going to go hit arms at Shred's gym later. But I just wanted to officially introduce him to you guys because him and I do a lot of stuff together, and we're going to work on a lot of projects in the future. So
Big ones.
Wanted you to really know who he is and what he does. Nick, give them a little spiel about your business, what you do, maybe some of the people you work with, whatever else.
Background-wise, you know, a lot of people always ask me what my credentials are, what my accolades are, and honestly, I have none. Community college for a year and a half. I dropped out to open my gym. I got my certification through ISSA. It expired. I didn't renew it because I was training people through my gym. You know, so on paper, I literally have no credentials to be a coach whatsoever.
But sometimes it's more about the actual clients and the results.
Absolutely. And I'm just a firm believer in, like, I don't need a piece of paper to tell me that I know what I'm doing. I do believe your work speaks volume for itself. In retrospect, yeah, you should have some form of credentials here, but I've never had somebody come up and say, well, you're not certified, I don't want to coach with you. So you're like, oh, I follow so-and-so and she looks great, so I want to look like that. I've had my gym for 3 years now, as of March 1st, and I just started online coaching, really diving into online coaching. Last year at the Arnold, I met up with Dez and Kendall and kind of talked with them and Tyler, and prepped Kendall and Tyler for their first shows. They both did very well. Kendall placed third, first show ever. Tyler competed 3 times, took first. I've been working with them 3 ever since, and then from there it was just kind of this huge snowball effect. You know, I didn't have this ideology in my head to like create an online coaching business like I have now. I was just kind of coaching these 3 to help, and you know, Kendall and Dez obviously have a large following.
Yeah. Kendall is Fears to Fit, by the way, on Instagram, and then Dez is Dez from bodybuilding.com.
Dez B.
Dez B. And so it pretty much just exploded kind of on its own.
Yeah, you know, and it was a very organic growth, which is what I really like. It was just people saw what we were doing, they wanted to be a part of that, they saw the real results, they saw the efforts that I was putting in, the attention to detail I was giving people, and they all wanted to be a part of that. And so I just, you know, the inquiry started rolling in, and I started to, holy shit, I could really start doing something here. Yep. So I rolled with it. I started prioritizing online coaching, and I mean, you know, I had my first 10 clients. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had never managed people online, so used to in person. I mean, I was having everybody check in with me on my phone. Yeah, I mean, my first 10 clients checked in with me every Sunday via text message.
Wow.
You know, they sent their photos. I had them all saved in my camera or in my phone in different photo albums, and I would look, and they would text me all their feedback, and I would text them adjustments. Yeah. You know, like that was my coaching, and as it blew up, I really needed to dial things in so I could look at everything more efficiently. So I started doing check-in sheets and trackers and stuff like that.
You guys should see his system now. It's just ridiculous. Like, he just has it down.
It really is foolproof. I love it.
Which you have to when you have as many clients as he does right now. You have around 70 clients currently.
Yeah, currently right around there.
It's insane.
And you know, a lot of people will say that's a lot, but like I said, when you have your systems in order, you can really delegate a lot of people and a lot of volume and still give everybody the attention they need by acquiring the necessary information in everybody's check-ins. You know, it's all there for me already, so I'm able to look at it all in one place and make my adjustments there instead of, you know, the go back and forth of how's this, and this. So it allows me to really keep my mental focus on each person. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. You know, it's been going on for a year. It's snowballed really big, and I think the biggest thing I love about it is I'm just a big advocate of like the family feel.
And you can see that, like when you were at the expo, you had 20 girls with you the whole time. All your clients all love you, respect you.
And I think that's huge.
Yeah.
You see a lot of coaches here that take on a ton of clients. They barely give them the time of day. They get back to them 2 days after their check-ins. It's a couple lines here and there. I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
I'm known for being blunt. I'm straightforward.
The most direct human being.
But I know everything about my clients' lives. Like I've put them through relationship issues. I convinced one of my clients to quit her job and move, and now she's in the best career of her life. Yeah. You know, and I just think coaching should be so much more than just, you look great, here's your adjustments.
Yeah, well, when you're a good coach, you really take on their entire life. You become a life coach for them, a therapist, all that stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. But that's why my team is as close as it is, because we're all on that level. And like I said, the most inquiries I get are because people go, man, I want to be a part of this family. Yeah. And that's like that right there sells it for me. Mm-hmm. That's way more important to me than saying, well, you know, all your clients look great.
And it's noticeable too, like we talk about it, like behind your back, we talk about you behind your back all the time.
That's okay. Everybody else does, so it's fine.
But we're always just like so blown away by the systems that he's got in place and the team he's been building and the clients he's been getting, and they're just flooding in. And one thing I've been with him multiple times when he's doing check-ins and coaching, and he gives every single client the time of day and gets back to them like that. When you're a coach, like, you really need to care about the people. That's the most important thing. Coaching was a huge passion for me. I loved doing it, but I also love watching you do it. So one other thing I wanted to touch on with you is just your coaching method. From my perspective, what I've seen is just the metabolic restoration and optimization. So you are taking girls over 400 grams of carbs in their macros, and they're still looking great. You are restoring their metabolisms when what we normally see is people who their metabolisms are just getting burnt out so fast through the coaches they're using, and they're getting to a point where they can't even go over 100 to 150 grams of carbs a day. They're starving themselves, and if they eat anything over that, they're storing fat quickly. So talk a little bit about that and just your approach to the metabolism.
There's so much information I can throw out on this one topic, but so I'll just take the normal scenario we see for contest prep, and honestly, unfortunately, the coaches that f up people's metabolisms are dominant in this industry. Yeah. And that's the reason I have the clientele that I have, honestly. The typical scenario you'll see is a competitor prep who's not ready to compete in the first place. Yeah. Right? And what I mean by that is in order to have a successful prep, you need to come from a fully physiological restored position, and systems need to be responsive. And if your body's already under an excessive amount of stress, it's already not responding, the only way you're going to get stage lean is by drastically dropping food and regulating cardio up a significant amount. And both of those scenarios are bad news. The last girl that came to me, I'll use her as an example because obviously her data is fresh in my mind here. I think she was 4 weeks out. She was nowhere near stage lean. I mean, nowhere near. And she was doing 45 minutes of fasted cardio every morning, another 45 minutes of cardio post-lift, 7 days a week. She was on, I think, 120 protein, 80 carb, 40 or 35 fat, and she was gaining weight.
Oh my God.
Right, and a lot of that's gonna be inflammation. When you're trucking along cardio that aggressively and when you're under eating in general, everybody, maybe not everybody, but you're familiar with the term metabolic adaptation.
Yes.
And basically your metabolism adapts to an intake that you're at. And that's what happens in these aggressive conditions is your body will adapt and it'll actually slow down its other physiological processes and it'll actually shut off some internal systems to be able to function on such low calories. And when you're doing such an excessive amount of cardio, you're actually getting a very aggressive upregulation of your parasympathetic nervous system. Typically, your sympathetic nervous system reigns dominant. Yeah. And when you're doing all that, your parasympathetic nervous system is going to become dominant. And that system right there is responsible for a lot of stress hormones, estrogenic hormones, etc. And that reigning dominant is just going to cause a plethora of problems right there. So my approach typically, and personally, I like to get cardio out of the equation as fast as possible. Okay. And that's literally just from a relaxation of the parasympathetic nervous system, because we need systems responsive first for your body to be able to respond to what we're trying to do food-wise and metabolism-wise. So cardio is usually out pretty quick. Obviously, in a case that severe, there's going to be a longer taper-off period. You can't go from doing an hour and a half of cardio a day every single day to nothing.
Yeah.
I'm a firm advocate of getting cardio out of the mix first before really pushing food up, but I'll kind of do both. So my initial food increases there. I bumped her straight up to like 150 carb, 40 or 50 fat, and just kept her there for about a month, just for a metabolic adaptation purpose. Let's get your body used to processing things properly and actually functioning like a human being. Yeah. And then in that time span of a month, I did completely taper her cardio off. I ended up taking her down to 4 days a week in the gym. And a lot of people hearing this right now are like, whoa, whoa, what? 3 rest days a week? I'm gonna get fat, right?
Calm down.
And I delegate this to everybody, is rest needs to equal, if not outweigh, your training if you want your body to be as responsive as possible. And when you're coming from such a stressful place, the best thing you can do is de-stress your body, right? So going down to 4 days a week actually gave her body a significant amount of needed recovery all over. And now in the span of 2 months, she's up to like 280 carb, starving. She's leaner than when she was 4 weeks out from her show.
That's so crazy.
And she feels like she's not dying.
Yeah.
Right? And again, the problem that you see with these coaches is they don't give a shit about people. They care about getting you on stage and making them look good. If you don't think you're ready to prep for a show, if you go to the wrong coach, they're going to tell you you're ready.
Yeah. Every time.
Because these coaches, they just want your money, and they want people on stage because they look good to people going, hey, I got 15 competitors at this show. Yeah. And you got me, I'm like, oh, how many girls you got competing? I'm like, I got one. Everyone's like, what? I'm like, yeah, well, she's gonna win. Yeah. Well, oftentimes not is the case. But with that, if you're competing, you can't control who shows up. All you can control is bringing your best package. To me, that's a win. I've never given a shit if my girl hasn't placed or not, as long as she feels, or my guys. If I have a competitor that goes on stage and they look their best they've ever looked, they feel the best they've ever looked, and they're like super confident, like, holy shit, they look this great, that's a win. And again, everybody wants to win.
Absolutely.
You compete to win. But like I said, guys, at the same time, you can't control who shows up. You can't control what the judges are looking for. You can't control if 5 people look better than you in the judges' eyes. As long as you look your best, it's just not in your cards for that day. Yeah. Like, you brought your best package, you looked insane. Who cares?
Yep. Well, and in the end, too, like, if you did win and you were stupidly shredded and you looked phenomenal, but you just destroyed your metabolism entirely,
not worth it.
It's not worth it.
It's a plastic trophy.
Yeah.
So you're sacrificing your functioning hormones for a piece of plastic. I'll give you a trophy. I'll buy you a plastic trophy.
Seriously.
Don't thrash your metabolism for that. It's not worth it. The stage is always going to be there.
Just the horror stories about girls and their messed up hormones from prep and things like that because coaches just weren't doing things right. It's terrifying.
I've got a girl right now who doesn't even have a functioning thyroid. She just got blood work done. Her thyroid is completely inactive because of prepping with the coach.
That hurts my heart.
Yeah.
Gosh.
She had never eaten over 165 grams of carbs in her life. In her life. Never. I put her on 180 carbs. She was like, wait, what?
That's a thing?
I was like, that's breakfast. What are you talking But same thing, a couple weeks later, it was like, oh, I'm stuffed. I feel like I'm force feeding myself. And I was like, it's okay. So I'm telling you guys right now, if you're going through an adaptation phase of getting yourself back up, there is that phase of adaptation. And there's no scientific literature on an adaptation phase. That's just something subjectively that I've called it because I've noticed it. Yeah. Usually about 2 weeks or so. You feel like you're stuffing your face, and then you get over that hump, your body adapts, and then literally girls are like, I'm starving.
Which shows that your metabolism's restored again, or at least improved
on its way. Yeah.
So that's reverse dieting, right there.
That's reverse dieting. And again, there's not even scientific literature on reverse dieting, really.
Yeah.
It's not really a scientific literature term. It's just a subjective thing done. And then, the last issue I ever see is coaches prepping people for like 12 shows. You just can't do that, guys. Pick 2 to 3 for a season, and then take 7 to 8 months in an off season.
Yeah.
Full physiological recovery, full stress restoration, full everything.
And psychological recovery, because you're damaged.
And build some muscle.
Yeah.
I see people prep, off season for 3 months, prep, off season for 3 months, and they place the exact same. I'm like, I don't get it, my coach sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not building any muscle. You're like just getting back to normal, and then you prep again.
Exactly.
You're just getting back to normal, and you prep again. You don't have time to build. Building muscle takes so much longer.
Absolutely.
And I just did a post about this on my Instagram. These people are so scared to get in an off season because they can't lose their abs.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, dude, Susan, you've looked the same for your past 12 gross. You know what I mean? Gain a little bit of weight. It's super easy to lose fat, guys. It's super easy. The fat loss process compared to muscle building is night and day.
Seriously.
Take you 8 months, put on maybe, 3 pounds of muscle naturally. 8 months of dieting, you could lose 100 pounds dieting in 8 months, you know? More than.
Yeah.
And so if you put that on a scale like that, it's like, is it really going to matter if you put on 5 pounds of fat for that muscle tissue? It's going to be gone in a month, you know?
Seriously.
So that was a rant, but hey, here we are.
You know what? It was valuable information for them. Hopefully you guys learned something. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on real quick?
No.
No? All right. So we're good. So this is Nick Comedina. Go ahead and follow him below. We'll put all his information in the description and we'll throw it on the screen for you. And then we're going to go about the rest of our day and just have a good time. So we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, guys.
I just don't understand. You know I'm too good to you. I'm way too good to you. You took my life away. I just don't understand.